Hey guys, welcome to another Gauging Gadgets review video. In this video we have the Tenergy Otis. This is a robotic vacuum cleaner. It features a HEPA filter. It also works on hardwood floors as well as carpets. And you can set timers with it so that it will run during the day when you're at work or something like that. And then you come home to a nice clean house. All that for a surprisingly low price of $150. So check the link in the description to find that price. Let's go ahead and open it up and try it out. Alright, so I'm sorry about this not looking like most of my reviews. This is a much larger device than I'm used to. Alright, so we'll just open up the top right here. On top, we have the HEPA filter, the remote control, and then looks like an owner's manual. Take off this little cover. We have the actual vacuum, the charging stand right here. Looks like the AC adapter. We do have some batteries for the remote control that are included. That's pretty awesome. And then we have the brushes that attach to the bottom of this. Alright, I'm going to get all this protective plastic off, and then we'll put it together. As you can see, I have everything out of the box. I do want to say that I'm very surprised with the amount of brushes that were included. You have 2 extra sets, so that's good because these will definitely wear out or at least bend over time. So having that is really good. So as you can see real quick, I just want to talk about these brushes. They are pretty long. These are probably about 2.5 inches long. So that's going to be good because that'll help drive things into the actual vacuum. It'll pick up things in corners, things that are closer to furniture or walls. This is really going to make sure that those get picked up by the vacuum. So first right here, we have the charging unit. This is kind of a base station. So the vacuum will kind of drive up onto this. As you can see, it does have some glass out here. It probably sends out a signal that then the vacuum finds. And right here you can see that they recommend having 3 feet on each side and then 6 feet clearance on the front of it for best results in allowing the vacuum to get back to the station and actually charge. So let's take a closer look at the vacuum here. This is the front right here. So you do have this light or sensor. I'm not really sure what that is. And then as you can see, this entire front kind of compresses in, so that's going to act almost as a sensor in itself. And it does have this glass area right here which does sense for items in front of it as well as where there might be stairs, so it won't fall off stairs. This does have that ability, but if for some reason this does not sense it, it'll run into it, and that's when it's going to sense it and stop moving. So if it hits maybe a pet or even you, it won't do any damage at all because it's going to easily sense that pretty quickly. Up on the top here we have some controls, it looks like, and then there are some LED lights that will get turned on shortly. On the back here we have a manual way to charge this, so you can plug this in. If you're not using the base station, you could just plug it in directly. I do like that. I currently have a robotic vacuum and it does not have that feature. It also does not have a power button, which has been kind of a problem when I go on vacation because the battery is not removable in the one that I have, so I have to basically turn the vacuum upside down. So having a power button here is awesome, and I really like that. So looking at the back, this is where everything that's picked up is stored. As you can see, the air is vented through here. So it looks like to clean out the waste reservoir, we just lift up the top panel, then there's a little handle right here, and then this is where all of your waste will be. So you do have an extra HEPA filter. This is the extra, and there's already one installed. I like this. This is really easy to get out. It's clear so you can see what it looks like. And it also has a little brush hook thing right here, which will be good if you have any hairs caught in anything. My current vacuum, basically every day I have to clean it out because it does get a lot of hair caught into it, which is good. I want that cleaned up. So it's just something I have to do on a regular basis. But having it attached to the vacuum and not stored away in some drawer is a huge benefit to me. So this is great. You can just pick it up, take it out, and then empty it in your trash and put it right back in, and you're good to go. So this is very simple. I really like this. Let's take a look at the bottom of the vacuum. So as you can see, first you have 2 wheels right here. Check out the treads on these wheels. This is like some off-roading vehicle. And then it does have a pretty good suspension. So see that? It'll go up and down. This is going to give you some clearance on pretty thick carpet. I don't think you would have any issue with that. We will test it on my carpet, of course. So that's actually pretty awesome. Both wheels have that same suspension built in. Then you have one wheel in the front, and this acts to turn the vacuum. Looks like it also has a little bit of grip on it as well. And then you have the 2 charging connectors. So these are up in the front. They're actually pretty large, so that's good, so the vacuum can easily get in there. So these holes up here in the front of the vacuum, that's where you attach the brush right here, and then the brush will spin like this, and it's going to push anything right into this right here. This is the actual vacuum part. So this is where all your dirt and everything will get sucked up into. Those brushes right there, they act to spin and flick things into that vacuum. It's really cool. 2 things I want to point out here. There are brushes that spin, so that's going to clean up any carpet. And then you also have these like little rubber flaps, and I think that's going to work really well on hardwood floors or tile, anything like that. You also have a nice little guard in the back that makes sure that anything that's kind of big, it won't be able to fly past that. It's going to get sucked up in the vacuum. That's really cool. Looks like that you can also remove that little outside layer if you need to get in there and clean it all up. And that's kind of what I was talking about. You'll have hair wrapped around this thing, and you use that hook to cut it off. Being able to remove this outside compartment makes it really easy to get in there and ensure you clean everything up so that your vacuum does a good job of cleaning. So as you can see, the brushes do not come installed. It's actually really easy to install them. No tools needed. All you need to do is line up the square on the bottom of the brush with the actual metal piece right there, and then push it in firmly, and it snaps in like that. Very easy. And then you just pull it off whenever you're ready to remove it. Hey guys, as you can see, I have the vacuum set up currently in my office here, and it's charging. It is fully charged. So I'm going to just press the start button on the remote, then we'll see the cleaning pattern. We'll see how it kind of interacts with the different obstacles, such as the guitars over here. And then I do have some furniture over here. I'll move the camera once it gets over to it, and we'll see how it reacts to it. So let's go and get started. All right, so now I'm going to use the spot button, and I think this is where it'll kind of focus on an area and just vacuum that specific area. So let's see what it does when I press that button. So now in this test, I'm going to press the home button, which sends the Otis back to the charging device right there. So let's see what that does. In this test, I'll be doing edge mode, and what that should do is just put the vacuum on the perimeter of the wall. So let's see what that does. Another thing I wanted to show you on the remote is you have these directional arrows, so I can use that to kind of control the vacuum like a remote control. So as you can see, I can press forward, goes forward, I can turn it right, I can turn it left, then I can have it go backwards if I want to. It's very controllable, so it's pretty cool. If you had a specific spot you wanted to vacuum up, you could easily do that with the controls on the remote. Okay, so those were a couple examples of the Tenergy Otis. I hope you were able to get a good idea of how this works and how it actually vacuums in a room. The Tenergy Otis does not map out your room. It doesn't do anything like that. It just has a simple algorithm where if it senses an object, it takes a specific turn so that it can actually vacuum up the entire room. It does seem to do a good job of vacuuming the entire room, and it does a really good job of also getting the perimeter of the room and using the brushes here to kind of pick anything out of the corner of the carpet or your floor, anything like that. I found that it worked great on my carpet, linoleum, and tile. If you do get this vacuum, there are a couple things you have to note. You really can't have anything on your floors that it can pick up. If you have any cables or anything, it's probably going to run them over and get them sucked into the vacuum or get tangled up in the brushes that run on the side. I also found that it seems to not be able to see dark material. So if you have dark furniture, it might run into your furniture. I don't know if it will really damage it or leave any marks, but it could depending on the type of furniture. Anything that's white, such as white molding on the floor, sneakers, a white couch, anything like that, it's going to see it and it's not even going to get close to it. It might get within an inch of it. So let's look and see what this captured. So as you can see, the entire thing is full, and the HEPA filter seems to have done a good job because there's nothing located on the outside of this right here. So that's awesome. I was very impressed with the different options available on this remote. I love the spot mode. While I was testing this device, I dropped a glass in my kitchen. So I swept it up, I picked up all the glass, and just to be sure, I put it in the kitchen and I hit the spot mode, and it really just like focused on the area in the kitchen, and I think it did a better job than I could have done picking up all the little glass shards on the ground. That was a really good use case for it. As you saw in the videos, it does a good job of staying on the perimeter, and just generally in vacuuming, it can fit under most furniture. There's one issue though with furniture. This little peg right here on the front, I do have some furniture where it's just about that height, where it seems to be able to get under the furniture, but it'll get trapped if it's on carpet. But that is something to think about before you get this. Make sure that you know the height of your furniture and that will not be a problem for this vacuum cleaner. Other than that, the vacuum cleaner works great. The algorithm works great. I measured the time it took for the battery to die. It was well over the advertised 90 minutes, so no issue there. And also to charge it was around 2.5 to 3 hours. Not bad at all if you're going to be using this once a day. Now this vacuum, once it's completed vacuuming and the battery is about to die, it will try to find the home base. You need to make sure you have it in a nice clear open space, and I would make sure you have it in the main room of your house. I had it in my office and I had my door open, and it just seemed to not be able to find it. It got trapped in my living room, and then I had to pick it up and carry it into the charger. And I don't think that that's anything that bad. If you have to just charge it once a day, you could put it on the charger. But if you want this to be automatically charging, put it in the main room where it's going to be vacuuming most often. That'll ensure that it is able to automatically find and put itself on the charger. Overall, for the price of $150, I think the Tenergy Otis robotic vacuum is an awesome buy, and I think it's a really good gift for maybe older people that don't have the ability to vacuum their house that often. With the HEPA filter, this can really help with allergens and just people's breathing overall. So I think this could be very beneficial for a lot of people, especially at that price range. One other thing about the remote, it was very responsive. I had no issues with the vacuum cleaner actually responding to the remote. If you have any questions about the Tenergy Otis robotic vacuum, leave a comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'm going to add an Amazon affiliate link to the description below so you can find this exact device on Amazon. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing to my channel, Gauging Gadgets, for more gadget reviews and tech tutorials. Thank you so much for watching.